I told myself that this time I was going to get my prediction video out early in the week, if not even on the weekend, because it's not like anything's going to happen on Raw that's really going to change how I feel about what's going to happen. They're definitely not going to add another match. And if they do, it's not going to be anything of consequence. Or so I thought. Sometimes it's good to procrastinate. These are my predictions for the 2024 WWE Crown Jewel. Welcome to Silo Voice Wrestling on YouTube and the Silo Voice Wrestling podcast. Wherever you get your podcasts, I'm Jason C. McLean. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and of course, ring that bell for notifications to get all my wrestling hot takes, cold takes, simmering takes, wrestling opinion pieces, assorted thoughts on Raw and Smackdown, WWE Premium Live Event reviews, and of course, predictions. Now, it's the 29th of October around 2:30 in the afternoon, so I saw Smackdown on Friday. I saw Raw last night, but I also saw an announcement from WWE, an official announcement, that there is another match. Now, I'm going to talk about that other match later because it might have spoilers for the pre-taped Smackdown. So if you want to skip that, I'll give you enough warning. But we're going to start right away with the matches that we do know. In a fatal four-way match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, the champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defend against Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, Io Sky and Kairi Sane of Damage Control, and Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. You know what I really miss? Team names. The only team name in this match is Damage Control, and that's not even a tag team name. That's a faction name. And, of course, we can't have the Kabuki Warriors because we don't have Asuka. Anyways, enough about that. What I do like, though, is that there's this renewed focus on the women's tag team titles. They're making them mean something. Now, one of the ways I think they made them mean something was by giving them to Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, but also surprisingly have them lose the titles and then fight to win them back. The last time that happened, that was in a triple threat match. So they didn't get pinned. Now, this is a fatal four-way. Are they going to get pinned this time? Is one of these other teams going to win? I don't think so. In fact, I'm pretty sure, about like 70-75% sure that Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are going to retain. That is my prediction. But the simple fact that I'm even thinking about it as a possibility, and other people are too, it means that these titles now have more importance. It's something people are considering that they could go to somebody else. Now, if they were to go to somebody else, I don't think they'd go back to this particular version of Damage Control. I think they're waiting for Dakota Kai or at least Asuka to come back. They're just trying. It seems like they're kind of like sort of coasting, having really good matches, but they're not really involved in a one faction versus another kind of program because they're waiting for the faction to be full. I would love it, honestly. Like Chelsea Green, I adore, and Piper Niven. They've already been tag champions, so theoretically they could win it again. But I doubt them beating Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Though in a triple threat or fatal four-way situation like this, they do have a decent amount of chance. As they have more of a better chance of winning than, say, Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. But that's only because they're kind of the new ones on the main roster. I mean, they're not officially on the main roster. It's NXT was involved in this too, but they've been on Raw, they've been on SmackDown, and the simple fact that they're fighting for the championships in a PLE means that they're definitely going to the main roster, and this is just a bigger showcase for them. But I don't think that means they're going to win the titles. So again, my prediction, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill retain. In a triple threat match for the United States Championship, the champion LA Knight defends against Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. To be completely honest, this is the match I'm interested in the least. I do predict LA Knight's going to win and retain. I do think it's going to be a good match because it's going to be kind of like the Andrade Carmelo Hayes for a lot of it. Knight's probably going to be out of it for a while, which is good. Those guys put on excellent matches, and I've been really into their other matches, at least the later ones in the feud. And I like LA Knight as U.S. champion. In fact, I was hoping he would win the championship, but I think he needs to go into a different program, and these guys need to go into different programs too after having one final blow-off match, and I don't think this is it. I didn't like the way that LA Knight sort of interrupted their Game 7, but you could kind of see it coming. It makes sense booking-wise, but I'm ready to move on from this particular feud, and I do predict LA Knight retains. And we have Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Now, this match I am very interested in. I love the storyline with KO. I wasn't hoping for a KO heel turn, but it happened. I think ultimately we're going to get an Orton heel turn. Now, I was in the back of my mind thinking that maybe, considering there's a bunch of matches on this could be a really short one. Maybe they do like a finger poke of doom thing where Orton just lies down or something, and then they both attack Cody in his match against Gunther. But I don't think we're at that stage yet. I think this is going to be a good match. No stipulation needed. It's going to be a fight. I think Owens has to go over. I think Owens is going to win, and he's going to win in a very underhanded way. Because he has to be a credible threat for Cody going forward. A heel Owens. I know Cody already beat him, but he was a babyface refusing to be dirty, and he lost. So now he is a heel. He's going to be a definite threat for Cody, and the way you do that is by him beating Randy Orton. But of course, he's going to win by cheating, so Orton's going to be protected as well too. But I do think this is an interesting match. Good storyline going into it. Excellent storyline, and these are both pros who can go, so I am looking forward to this one. We've got Seth freaking Rollins versus Big Bronson Reed. Now, I used to think it was silly that they called him Big Bronson Reed because you don't have lanky Sami Zayn, average-sized Jey Uso. Like, no. Now I get it. I like it. It's his moniker, and I really like what they've been doing with Bronson Reed, especially his attacking Seth. His matches against Braun Strowman were epic. Were two real big guys, and this one I love. Rollins sneak attacked him with his own luggage. Bronson Reed attacked Owens in a truck, and Owens did the stomp on the cart. The only thing I'm hoping is now that there's a new match added, we're up to 7 matches, and I know Triple H likes to keep it at 5. So unless one of these matches is really short, there's a possibility they're going to cut one. And I mean, Rollins did kind of get, injured on the last Raw. I hope they don't cut this one. I hope we get this one. If we do get this one, I think it's going to be excellent. I think Rollins is going to come close to winning, but Bronson Reed's going to do something. And I think Bronson Reed is going to win to set him up for his next opponent. And Rollins is still going to be fine. He's going to move on to CM Punk. But I think this is going to be a fun match to watch, a really violent match, a lot of wild spots. And I do predict Bronson Reed goes over. And I hope that this match isn't cut. For the ugliest championship belt ever, women's version, the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax takes on the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. Now, of the 2 matches for the belt that I don't really like, but really champion versus champion, this is the one that's definitely the most interesting because there's also a Money in the Bank holder, Tiffany Stratton, who's obviously going to show up theoretically to cash in on Liv Morgan, but you never know. She might cash in on Nia Jax, become a babyface. One scenario I ran in my head was that Tiffany cashes in mid-match, making it a triple threat, and whoever wins gets not only the Crown Jewel Championship, but the Women's World Championship and the WWE Women's Championship, all 3. That would be wild, but I couldn't even predict who's going to win that one, but I don't think that's going to happen. If that wild scenario does happen, I think I'm the only one who brought it forward, so credit me, but that's not my prediction. I was also thinking how this might be setting up a women's War Games match by having all these top-level women from both rosters intermingling. The side effect could be setting that up. Now, theoretically, what would you go with? You'd go with maybe on one side, Nia, Tiffany, Liv, Raquel, and Candice LeRae or Chelsea Green, or throw someone else in. And on the other side, you'd have Rhea Ripley, Bayley, Naomi, and the whole can Bayley and Bianca coexist thing happening with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. That's a pretty good match. But for that to happen that way, what I predict cannot happen, because I'm predicting Nia Jax ends up winning the Crown Jewel Championship, wins the match. Maybe Dom or someone saves Liv Morgan as Tiffany's about to cash in, and somehow either by Tiffany or someone else, somehow Nia gets knocked out, or Nia is giving Tiffany criticism, and Tiffany just hits her with a chair or something, cashes in, and I think Nia wins the match, wins the Crown Jewel Championship, but loses the WWE Women's Championship, and Tiffany turns babyface. That's my prediction. There could still be a women's Elimination Chamber match at Survivor Series with all these people, but Tiffany would obviously be on the different side. Okay, so that's I think that's pretty much set. I'm definitely interested to see what happens. There's a lot of potential outcomes to this one. While I hope it's my prediction, I wouldn't be upset if it was anything else. For the I wish they had just made it a trophy belt men's version, the undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, versus the World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General, Gunther. Now, while I honestly think this is too soon for this match, I think this is a match that needs more storyline build-up, something at WrestleMania possibly, and for both belts to be on the line. Because they're both not, like in the other match. It's just the Crown Jewel Championship. I still think this is going to be an incredible match. I think it's going to be great. I mean, these are Cody Rhodes and Gunther. How could it not be excellent? Now, I think seeing as no championship is on the line, Gunther has to go over, because Gunther also has the only defeated once on the main roster by Sami Zayn, and never defeated while he holds this belt. So even if he doesn't lose the championship, I still think he shouldn't get pinned. But I also think Cody shouldn't get pinned or submitted without outside interference. So while people have suspected Goldberg might come in and interfere on Gunther, I think if Goldberg does show up, it's going to be after the match, after Gunther wins, because maybe the Bloodline, probably not the Bloodline, but maybe Kevin Owens, after beating Orton, comes in and somehow interferes, or maybe him and Orton fight out, and that distracts Cody. Or my other thought for the other match was that it's kind of like a finger poke of doom, and it's actually Orton turns heel too, and they both attack Cody, but that's not going to happen. But Orton's probably going to be the one, or Owens, is probably going to be the one who attacks Cody. There's going to be a distraction. Maybe he doesn't get to Cody, but distraction. Gunther wins because of a distraction. Gunther is your men's Crown Jewel champion. So those are my predictions for the Crown Jewel card as it stood Monday morning. Now, a 6-match card is one more match than Triple H likes on anything other than WrestleMania or SummerSlam, but maybe they're trying to make Crown Jewel bigger. But, okay, now this is the part that might be spoilers. Although I don't know if it's spoilers if WWE's officially announced something on social media. But still, it could be a spoiler for the pre-taped Smackdown that is happening. That was already taped last week and is airing this Friday. I have not watched that Smackdown or read any spoilers. The only thing I know is this official announcement. So if you want to skip that, you could possibly pause this video, close this window, come back to it after SmackDown for my prediction on this other match. Or you could just, skip ahead to the end to hear my lovely close, or just forget about that entirely. Or you could just say, you know what? I think I know what this match is anyways. I'm just going to watch. It's your choice. 3, 2, 1. If you're still here, just announced on social media a 6-man tag team match between the new Bloodline and the OG Bloodline. That's right. On one side, it's some combination of Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa. 3 of those guys. And on the other side, it's the OTC Roman Reigns with Jimmy Uso and, yes, main event, Jey Uso. Now, obviously, that means Jey says yes under certain conditions and comes to some sort of an agreement with Roman and with Jimmy, I guess, on SmackDown, which was already taped, because this match is officially on the card. Now, let's just assume that's what happens. My prediction for this match, this is obviously setting up War Games where it's going to be more people involved. And on one side, we have 4 people already, but only 3 of them in the match. Obviously, the 4th person is going to get into the match, maybe somebody else as well, too. Who knows? Cheating and interference. And then they set up on Raw that Sami Zayn, I knew I was wearing this t-shirt for this prediction video for a reason. Sami Zayn was critical. I was not happy with Jey Uso reunited with Roman and Jimmy. Jimmy went to look for him, and then Sami was talking to Solo. Now, I think, and I hope also, they're not going to turn Sami heel. I hope he was just, hearing Solo out. Solo approached him. Maybe he's going to come down. They're going to think he's on Solo's side, but he's going to turn and actually help out Jey, Jimmy, and Roman, and he'll be on their side in War Games. So, but maybe the help isn't going to be good enough. Maybe he's going to come out after. I think the new bloodline is going to win this one somehow, and the OG bloodline is going to win at Survivor Series War Games. So this last minute match, I mean, you kind of tell it was going to happen, but the fact that they announced it before, maybe it just everyone figured it was going to happen. I don't know, but yeah. So who's going to pin who? I think Solo has to get some heat back. So maybe there's going to be some cheating, and he's actually going to pin Roman, and then Roman's going to be the one to pin him at War Games. Who knows? We'll see when that happens. But for this match, OG Bloodline is going to lose, unfortunately, to the new Bloodline, and Sami Zayn is going to rejoin with the OG Bloodline. That's my prediction. Now, those are all of my predictions for Crown Jewel 2024, WWE's premium live event from Saudi Arabia. Do you agree with my predictions? Some, all, none? Let me know in the comments. Follow at Silo Voice Wrestling on Instagram and Facebook, at Silo Wrestling on X, and me at Jason C. McLean on X and Instagram. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. My time is freeing up a lot, so I'm going to get back to regular programming after the Halloween season. I actually host ghost tours in Montreal. That's why I've been really busy. Been getting out sort of the bare minimum. But yeah, after the Halloween season, I'm back to full force. And I'm definitely going to do a review of Crown Jewel. For Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean.